Hey everyone, it's Savan. Welcome to Life Between Titles. I wasn't sure if I was going to record this one, but I wanted to for a couple of different reasons. The first reason was because I think it's an interesting way to communicate to you, the listeners, some of the things that's going on and my appreciation for everybody. I know that you could be listening to just about anything else, and there is a ton of podcasts or audiobooks or music that you could be listening to, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. It means the world to me. Um, you might notice this small mark on my lip, and I'll just say it up front. It's from a fall that I had earlier this week. I had a seizure on Tuesday, and I thought about waiting until it healed before recording, but honestly, that felt wrong because Life Between Titles has always been about showing up honestly, especially when life doesn't look perfect. So on Tuesday morning, I had an incident where I woke up and I went to the bathroom and I got really lightheaded and I fell down a couple times. And one of the times, I hit the front of my lip and my tooth and my chin. And it was really disorienting and confusing because it had never happened before in my life. And I always thought I was a very healthy person. And the irony of it is that I have been reducing my alcohol intake by an exceptional amount. I probably only had 2 days of drinking over the last month and a half, maybe 2 months, which is the least amount that I've had in a long time. And I work out pretty often, and I've been pretty conscious about what I've been trying to eat. But high blood pressure does run in my family, and I think there's a ton of things that could have happened. I am fine, and I don't know exactly what caused it, but I am taking precautions to try to get as close to the bottom of it as possible. So, um, one of the first things I worried about was when would be the next time I could record a session, which is probably the last thing I should be worrying about, but that's just how my brain works. But that moment made me pause. It really reminded me how fragile everything is and how quickly the rhythm of life can change. I had projects lined up, interviews scheduled, meetings planned, and for a few days there, I couldn't keep up with any of it. I missed a bunch of meetings because I um, forgot what day it was. I had to reschedule interviews. I couldn't respond to messages as quickly as I wanted to. And you know what? Like, I felt very guilty. I was worried what people would think that I was a flake or that I wasn't able to follow through. But what surprised me was how thoughtful and forgiving people were. No one made me feel bad for stepping back. They simply said, "Take care of yourself." And that really meant a lot to me because sometimes we hold ourselves to these impossible standards, believing that everything is going to fall apart if we slow down. But often people are kinder than the voices in our head. So this experience has forced me to slow down, rest, reflect, and in that stillness, I realized something powerful, and that progress isn't always about motion. Sometimes it's about recovery, and we tend to measure our worth by how much we produce or how quickly we respond. But that's not the whole picture. Progress can mean taking a breath and giving yourself space to heal and trusting the world can wait. And this week was definitely a setback, yeah. But it was also a reminder that showing up imperfectly is still showing up. If you're listening and you're going through your own pause, whether it's a burnout or uncertainty, I hope you give yourself permission to rest and reflect. You don't have to be perfect to keep going on. You just have to keep going on. So what's next for the show? So going forward, Life Between Titles is going to expand a little bit, and I'm actually really excited by it. I'll share stories and reflections, but I also want to bring in people whose expertise can help us navigate these in between moments. And so you're going to hear from a new segment. And so I'm going to have another set of shows, probably with a different title. And you'll start to hear from HR professionals and recruiters and life coaches and mental health experts, people who understand what it means to rebuild and redefine yourself after change. And my hope is that their insights will give this community both guidance and grounding, because it's not just about sharing stories anymore. I think the stories are powerful, but my hope is that with this channel, we can start to help each other get through these tough times. And I think at the end of the day, regardless of if it's one person listening or a million people listening, if this show can help out just that one person, I think that'll be doing its job. And so I'm super excited about having that series of conversations included into this show. The last thing that I'm excited about is I'm going to be working with my friend Mike Lee, who was also on the show, and we're going to start a new type of conversation. And it's going to be a mix of personal reflection and cultural discussions, the kind of talks that start casual but really end up going deep. And the format of it is going to be more of a back and forth of quick hits, things that we've read, that we've seen, that we've listened to. It could be poetry, it could be art, it could be books, it could be things we've written that really hit home. And then we'll also dive deep into things like leadership and compassion and empathy, and really sort of get to the nitty gritty of what that looks like. And I think the combination of these topics with the sort of natural banter that Mike and I have will be exciting. It'll be thought provoking, and I'm really looking forward to bringing that to you guys as a new segment. So those are the things that's coming up with Life Between Titles. I'm super excited by the future of where we're at. The analytics have shown that everybody has taken a liking to these types of conversations, which I am very appreciative of, because when I started this, I didn't know what to expect. But it's one of those things that uh, really resonates with people. So that's it. There's going to be a lot more coming up, and I'll try to keep you guys updated at least once a month on how this goes, because whether it's health or relationships, we're all learning to balance who we were with who we're becoming. That's the real story behind Life Between Titles. Thanks for being here with me today and giving me the space to show up just as I am. I'll see you soon.